Good morning. Hi, everybody. Whoever's out there this morning. Congratulations for getting out of bed on this day, this very, very rainy day. It's a dark day. It's a nice day to sleep. So you're up out of bed. We're here together to do some yoga. We have one more minute before we start. And I'm not sure if anybody has yoga blocks at home or like thick books, but they can come in handy when we do our practice. We're actually going to do some twisting from lunge today. But if you don't have a block or if you don't have any books to use under your hand, it's not a big deal. And you don't have to do the twist. So, yeah. All right. So it's 9:30. Just a reminder to listen to your body. If you feel any pain or discomfort in anything we do, make sure that you don't do it or modify. Make it work for your body and what you need. So just don't force anything. And I was going to say something else and I forgot. So we're going to start. Hopefully you can hear me. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. And same thing goes if you want to up level or, I say modify, but you can also take things deeper, explore movement, be free in your yoga practice. Okay, we're going to start in child's pose. So bringing your big toes together, separating your knees, reaching hips back to heels, and lower down to your mat. Bring your forehead down to your mat and relax your arms. Okay. And just feel the earth beneath you and let your body get heavy. Let the body get really heavy into the support of the earth. And let your eyes close. Making any internal adjustments so you feel like you can hold this position for a little bit as we start our practice with grounding and centering and turning within. If this position isn't working for your body this morning, find a different place to ground and center. And we turn within. Taking all of your precious energy into this moment. Everything else can wait. As you turn inward and become aware of what's going on inside, can you feel any pulls? Is there anything in the outside world that's pulling at you? Something maybe that you have to do, something going on in your home, maybe that's distracting you. Just notice, is there anything pulling at you? Any hooks? And just see if we can cut those ties. Allowing yourself to fully settle. And relax. You can relax and soften the belly. Beginning your deep yogic breathing to help relax you even more. Hear the sound of your breath. Bit by bit, making each breath last a little bit longer, and maybe even adding a slight pause at the top of the inhale and a slight pause at the bottom of the exhale. And just be with your breath for a few minutes. Our practice this morning is focused on spring cleaning. So we're going to be spring cleaning within, taking an internal shower, and honoring what the spring season brings. So the spring season is a time of growth and rebirth. And it's a time of hope. So we move away from the heaviness and the darkness and the slowness of winter. And we reemerge refreshed and renewed. So as we practice this morning, we'll be doing cleansing yoga positions, detoxifying positions, and also doing some self-reflection, connecting with a sense of hope within. So the definition of hope is an optimistic state of mind based on expectation of positive outcomes in one's life. So let that settle in. What do you feel within yourself when you hear the word hope? What bubbles up? What bubbles up in the mind, in the emotions, in the body? What does that word mean to you? Expectations of positive outcomes in one's life. A couple more grounding breaths here. And when you're ready, press your palms into the earth. Lift yourself into tabletop. So separate the toes, parallel the knees. We'll drop the hips to the right and reach hips to heels. Drop hips to left, take them forward. So circling around with the hips. Let the elbows be soft, shoulders, head and neck is loose. And be free with this movement. And as we move today, maybe even thinking of when you're gardening, if any of you are gardeners, or you have to till the soil. So as you move, thinking of grounding up the dirt, pulling out the weeds, pulling out what we don't need. So when we plant seeds, they can grow. They can grow in the fertile earth without blockages. So circling in the opposite direction, getting the energy moving. In the spring season, everything is wet and fluid. So when you think of the winter and the frozen ground, it just doesn't seem as though energy prana is moving in a fluid way. Of course, it's still there, but when you think of springtime, oh my goodness, it's just life everywhere, fluidity everywhere. So let's bring that internally. Okay, let's still ourselves out. And stacking shoulders over wrists, knees hip width apart. Feel the earth beneath you. Press into the earth, lifting up and out of the shoulders. On the inhale, let your pelvis tilt, belly drop, heart open, chin lifts. Exhale, tuck pelvis, round spine, spread shoulder blades, drop head. Move back and forth with your breath. If your wrists get cranky at all, you can come onto your fists to take the bend out of the wrists. And just be mindful of what you're doing at your foundation with your hands. Are you clawing the hands? If you are, flatten out the hands. Feel the base of the palm and the backs of the knuckles. Letting your breath lead your movement. Getting energy movement at any frozen and stiff places in the body. And every season is important. Every season. So in the winter, we need that darkness. We need to go within. We need the stillness. But it's time to let go of that. It's always important to ground at the change of seasons. Let's take it back and forth one more time with your breath, feeling the ground beneath you. Good. And then release back in tabletop. Feel the foundation. We'll take our right leg back, curl under the toes. Move over a little bit. Here. I was on the wrong mat. Hope you can see me. All right. Curl under the right toes. Press the heels back up. I don't know if you can see me, so I'm going to turn, cross it over, plant the toes back down, press the heel back. Keep the palms pressing into the earth, lift up and out of the shoulders. And if it's okay on your neck, turn to look over your left shoulder at your back foot. Hold and breathe. Full body breaths. Belly is soft. Maybe add the slight pause at the top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath. And take one more breath in. And on your exhale, take your head back to center, take your leg back to center, and parallel over the earth, bend the knee, and we'll circle around at the hip joint, okay, on the right side. So what happens sometimes when we're doing that is we start to compromise and sink down, bend the elbows, and get all sloppy. So try not to do that. Push into the earth, lift up and out of the shoulders. Everything's in tabletop. We're just circling at the hip joint. It doesn't matter how big those circles are. Just feel out that joint and know that as you're moving and breathing, you're lubricating that large joint, moving the stagnant energy. And circle that knee in the opposite direction. Right now, it's because I turned, so you'll probably be opposite to what I'm doing. So left knee lined up with right arch and lift up. Arms relaxed down. Activate the muscles of the extended leg to protect your joints. Notice if you're collapsing at the arch of the foot, and then press outer edge into your mat so the arch lifts. You can also bring something underneath the outside of your foot if you need to. And reach your left arm up. Inhale, lengthen, big stretch to the sky. Exhale, arch towards the extended leg. Full breaths. When you inhale, find space. And when you exhale, reconnect to the earth. And one more breath in. On your exhale, feel it as you release. Take it nice and slow. We don't have to rush. Just be here in this moment. Let the arm float down. Good. Take your hands back to the earth. We're going to bring your right knee in. And now take your left leg back, curl under the toes, press the heel back. So the heel presses back as the crown lengthens forward, making space in the body for energy to move. Full breaths. And lifting your leg up. Cross it over the right foot, plant the toes. Just a reminder, so I'm not mirroring right now, so you'll probably be opposite direction. Push into the earth. And you can turn to look over your right shoulder at your back foot, if that's okay, on the neck. Be mindful that you don't drop into the shoulders. Keep pushing into the earth. Full body breaths. Where are you feeling sensation in your body? You feel so good to open up the muscles and to take full breaths. Good. Take one more breath in. On your exhale, slowly bring the head back to center. Leg comes back to center. Lift it off the earth. Bend the knee and circle right at that hip joint. Just moving from the hip joint. You don't have to do anything else with that tabletop position. Let's go a hair slower than you automatically go, keeping yourself in this moment. Mindfulness is part of the practice, so over and over again, you're going to catch yourself going somewhere else. And we come back to the breath over and over again, knowing that if we have to do that 100 times or more, that's just as perfect as if we only have to do it a few times. It is what it is. Let's circle that knee in the opposite direction. One is not better than the other. It's just about catching yourself. That's what's important. Day to day, we're going to be different. Our level of focus is going to be different. We're human. Let's embrace that. Okay, let's take that leg out to the side, lining the knee up with the arch of your foot, and come on up. Oh, press through the outer edge of your left foot and let your left arm be relaxed down. That left arm doesn't have to do anything. On your inhale, reach up with your right hand, big stretch and arch. Space along the right side. Activate the left leg. Be mindful we're not taking the hand and pressing on the outside of that knee and not even realizing. Let this arm be relaxed. And take the energy all the way through the right arm to the fingertips. Full body awareness. Deep breaths, slow breaths. On the inhale, think of lengthening, extending, and opening. And when you exhale, return to the earth. Feel the earth connection. It's all about balance. Let's take one more breath in. On your exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly come back up, noticing. Let your arms slowly float down so we don't rush out of it. We keep that mindfulness even through transitions. Every bit of the practice, belly towards your thighs, ears in line with the biceps. Start here, and then you can pedal out your feet. See how those hamstrings feel. And then figure out where you feel best in your downward dog this morning. Explore movement. Notice what comes up in your downward dog. Do a body scan. Eventually, the movement settles into stillness. Can you completely still the body here? Physical body is still, and the breath is slow and full. Bringing the breath and the energy, the prana that it carries all the way to the tips of the fingers and the tips of the toes. Deep breaths. If we're holding this too long for your body this morning, come to your knees. Otherwise, stay here and notice the sensations as they shift and change. And we'll bend our knees, gaze towards your hands, take us towards your hands. Feel each foot as it touches on the earth. Feet are hip width apart. Fold over the legs, bend the knees, and we'll slowly unroll for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just like a fern uncurling as you roll up. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Here we are, bringing your feet hip width apart. Activate your legs. Roll the shoulders open, palms open forward. Grounding down through the feet as you lengthen up with the crown of the head. Standing with intention. Find that stillness. Stay within. Notice what bubbles up in body, in mind, in emotions. Let your palms come to heart center. So palms press, thumbs connect. Inhale, hearts rise, open up. Let your palms press and take an exhale back to heart center. Sun breath. Inhale, spread the fingers wide, lift the heart, reach. Palms press and a cleansing exhale. Letting go. Inhale, reach up, and exhale is a letting go. Inhale, we receive, we open up to life. Exhale, we're letting go. One more time, open up, receive with gratitude. And exhale, we let go and connect to the heart. Palms press, inhale, reaching up overhead. And exhale, arms come out and down. Palms press, inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms out and down. One more time, palms press, inhale, reach up. And an exhale, it feels so good to let go of the heaviness, to let go of what doesn't serve us. Let it be released. Sun salutations. On your inhale, hearts rise, reaching up. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, soften the knees, fold over the legs, release head and neck. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, soften down, take your fingertips to the earth, left foot back. You can find runner's lunge, or you can drop your knee, kneeling lunge. You can either stay lightly on your left fingertips, or you can bring your hand down. This is when I set a block or a book underneath your left hand. And with an inhale, we're gonna reach your right arm back and open up to the sky. So it's a sinus twist here. Again, drop the knee if you need to. Look at your breath or listen to your breath. And if the breath is no longer fluid, then come out of it or modify. Your breath is your guide. Keep hips square over the earth. The rotation is from the belly. Inhale, we open, and the exhale, feel the earth. Ooh, that heat that you're generating will help cleanse impurities, that inner fire. One more breath in. Exhale, release slowly, palm to the earth. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, roll yourself into plank pose. Take a full breath in, push into the earth. Exhale, place your knees down. Bend your elbows, lower chin, chest, pelvis to the earth, and inhale, cobra. Reach shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, lower down. Press into the earth to knees, curl under toes, floating to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. On your exhale, roll into plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, plank pose. One more time, downward facing dog. And plank pose. Downward facing dog. And bring knees down for child's pose. So you can take the knees wide if you're wanting more hip sensation, or if you need some lower back opening, bring the inner thighs together. Your choice. I'm just looking for the inward focus that this pose facilitates. Let your arms relax completely. Take a deep breath in. And a big sigh. A big letting go sigh. One more time. Breathe in. And a big sigh. Letting go. It can be very hard to let go, even if we know that something doesn't serve us anymore. It sounds so much easier letting go, but we know when it's time. Deep down, you know when it's time to let go. And when that actually happens, you feel lighter, you feel freer when you follow that inner guidance. But it can take time. It can take years of knowing you need to let go of something and just gripping and hanging on and waiting and expecting. So as you turn inward here, asking yourself, asking that inner wisdom. So not the mind, not the ego, not the thoughts. This is deeper. This is beyond that. What can you choose to let go of? So in your mind's eye, what can I choose to let go of? See what comes up. You might just get quietness. And know that that's okay. We don't have to force anything to come up. But if something immediately comes up, you're going to want to look at that. You're going to want to consider the initial reaction. And even if nothing comes up, by asking that question, you're telling the universe that you're open to receive the answers. So it might not happen in our practice, but it might happen within the next few days. So just looking at what's coming up, what we can choose to let go of. Choosing to release that which no longer serves you. Take a full breath in. Fresh, new energy all throughout, a lightness on that inhale. And a cleansing exhale. When you're ready, palms press into the earth, lift into tabletop, curl under your toes, gently floating yourself back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, gaze to your hands, take a slow walk. Feel each foot to the earth and fold. Inhale, open up to the sky, receiving new life. Exhale, folding, we bow to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. And soften down. This time we take the right foot back for runner's lunge or kneeling lunge. And settle in. Of course, get yourself into a good place. Adjust. Find balance between effort and ease. You can stay here and opt out of the twist. That's totally fine. Or you can lightly be on the right fingertips, right palm. Inhale, hips are stable. We rotate from the belly. Reach the left arm back and up. I don't know what just happened in my voice. Oh, breathing. Belly breaths. Feeling the squeezing at the belly. In the winter, we even eat differently with holidays or like more heavy foods. And in the springtime, we start to eat lighter. So let's cleanse the digestive system with these twists. And just holding that intention of cleansing and bringing new energy to the organs and digestive system. Okay, one more breath in. Woo, exhale, slowly unwind. Let's not rush out of it, even though it's challenging. And take it back, downward facing dog. Roll yourself into plank pose. Take it in. Exhale, knees placed down. Bend your elbows. Chin, chest, pelvis down. Lift into cobra. Heart shines. Drop shoulders from the ears. And release down. Press into the earth. Up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, plank pose. Nice and strong. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, plank pose. Be kind to yourself. If your body doesn't want this, don't do it. You don't have to. Take it back. And place knees to the earth. Again, knees can be together or separate. Let's find our child's pose. Arms can be forward or they can be alongside the body too. Settle in. Okay, let the body be heavy. Feel the earth beneath you, supporting you as you let go. Let's take a full breath in. Feel lightness and lifting in the back body. And a cleansing exhale, nice and slow. Feel the forehead getting heavier in the earth. Take a deep breath in. And a big sigh. Let go of stress and tension with the breath. One more time, breathing in. And a big letting go exhale. Eyes are closed. Dropping down through the layers, the outer layers, to the quiet stillness within. And asking your inner self, what do I want more of? What will I choose to have more of? What will I choose to bring more of into my life? You might get silence as your answer, or you might get an immediate initial answer. Just be open. We don't have to grip in the mind. Let everything be soft. See what bubbles up. And the opposite of hope is despair. And despair happens when we feel that we don't have any more choices, when we feel that we don't have a choice. But of course, there always is a choice. We always, always have a choice. We have a choice as to what to let go of, and we have a choice as to what we want more of and what we want to bring into our life. It's your choice. Fill yourself up. And let your palms press into the earth. When you're ready, lift up. Separate toes. Transition back to downward facing dog. Nice and slow and mindful. And then we'll bend our knees. Take a slow walk. Feel the foot connect to the earth. Fold. Inhale. Open up. Receiving life, brand new life. Exhale, lead with the heart. We bow down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time hands to the earth. You can step or hop into plank pose. We'll take a breath in. On your exhale, you can drop the knees or you can come into chaturanga, which is a bend in the elbows. And on your inhale, cobra or up dog. Up dog, we're lifted except for the tops of the feet. Both heart openers, we move the ears away from the shoulders and hug elbows in towards the rib cage. Let's take a couple breaths in our heart opener. Think of breathing into the heart, letting the breath move through any blockages, any resistance to that feeling of hope. One more huge breath in. And in your own way, make your way back to downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll into plank pose. And we push into the earth all the way as we roll forward. You can spread the shoulder blades and then the head comes forward. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, so I'm rounding through the spine and then spread shoulder blades and then my head comes forward. So that can actually feel really good in the upper body, at least it does in my upper body. So I'm sure somebody else feels that it feels good. One more time. Exhale, rolling, roll, 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 head comes forward. And then back to downward facing dog. Come to your knees. You can come into child's pose with knees together, knees apart, or if you want to come into melting heart, feel free. Let the forehead come to the earth and close your eyes in that position of your choice. Take a deep breath in. A letting go sigh. One more time, huge breath in. A letting go sigh. Beautiful. Dropping through the layers. Down, down to the stillness within. Asking your higher self if there are any new ideas or urges bubbling up. What ideas or urges are presenting themselves? Notice what comes up. Consider what comes up. And we're just noticing without analyzing whatever comes up. And breathing in, letting yourself fill with hope for all the possibilities, for the life that lies before us, carrying the spark of hope with us. Let's press our palms into the earth, unroll, slowly float back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, a slow, mindful walk. Feel the foot heel to the balls of the feet. And let's slowly unroll, like that fern uncurling as it grows, uncurling towards the sun, bit by bit, then the shoulders, then the head. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. All right, inhale, open up. Exhale, lead with your heart and fold. Soften those knees. Halfway lift. And soften down. We're going to take the left foot back. Keep the heel lifted, having your feet about a hip's width apart. Press your feet down and sweep those arms up or come up in a way that works for you. And once you're up, get yourself so you feel stable. You might need to, I am very wobbly today. You might need to widen your feet if you're feeling very wobbly, like I am. Have a steady gaze, a dristi, and straighten that back as much as you can. But if your hamstring is super tight, or even the hip flexor, you might need to have a bend in that knee. So you know best. We're with the rib cage, pubic bone towards rib cage towards pubic bone. So we're not overarching that back. So we kind of bring it in a little bit. All right, you feel that core. Front toes are free. Reach your arms up. Do you feel like you're in a good place where you're exerting effort, but you still have easefulness of the breath? If not, find that place. Couple options here. Take hands to heart center. Inhale, lift a little arch back, and then exhale, hinge forward first. So we do the fold first, and then we twist, hooking your elbow to the outside of your right leg. Palms press and we rotate. So that's the most intense variation. Other variations is bringing your knee to the earth. Okay. Or another variation is you can take your left hand to the outer right thigh and open your right arm up. What we're looking for is just a twist here. Pelvis is stable. Rotate from the belly. Make sure you're breathing. Press your palms into each other and get a little rotation of the chest open towards the side wall. Catch yourself if you start to chest breathe. Take another breath in. On your exhale, unroll. Hands to either side of your front foot, and we'll spring off the back foot. We're going to find our standing split. Okay, so your elevated leg, press through the ball of that foot toes spread, so it's like a Barbie doll toe. So that leg is active. And you can hold ankle, bring hands to heart center, challenging your balance more if you like. My leg is really not liking this today, so I can't even hold it. Whew. So we got to honor where we're at. No standing split for me today, but those of you who are there, activate your supported leg. Make sure you're breathing. Breath is the most important part. Let's take one more breath in. Maybe you get a little more lift in that leg. And exhale, bring your feet to meet. Feet press down. Inhale, breathe in, reach up to the sky. Exhale, lead with the heart and fold. Drop your head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften knees, step your right foot back. Widen feet so they're hip width apart. Once you feel stable, feet press down and arms reach on up. And check again. Are you in a good place to hold? If not, adjust. Loving your body exactly as it is, even if you feel like it's not cooperating. Just let go of that. Your body is what it is today in this moment. Let's love it. Let's honor it. Let's be kind to it. We're not the boss of our bodies. Let's take our hands to heart center. Pubic bone to rib cage to pubic bone. Taking that arch out of the lower back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, turn, and then bend. So make sure we do the turn first and then the bend, rather than at the same time, because that can be a lot on the back. Keep pelvis stable. So when you twist, so for this twist, your right hip's going to want to drop down. I just caught myself doing that. Bring the right hip back up so hips are square over the earth. And again, modification, knee to the earth. Or, oh boy, right hand to the outer thigh and opening left arm up. And wherever you are, you're breathing. Staying in this moment, the inhale, we think of opening, receiving life, and on the exhale, feel the feet connected to the earth. It feels so good to move. It feels so good to breathe. It feels so good to generate heat and energy in the body, to clean it out. Cleansing impurities. I'll take one more breath in. On your exhale, slowly unwind. Hands to either side of your front foot. Spring off your back foot into standing split. So we get our weight or transition our weight onto our left foot. Elevated leg. We have Barbie doll toes, so press out through the ball of the foot, toes spread. Maybe you prefer to flex your foot, and that's fine too. It's just we want that leg active. Otherwise, it's just dead weight throwing off our balance. And this is called standing split, but get every idea or image in your head out of a split. Don't even think about a split. Just think of lifting that leg to your edge. And then if you want to challenge your balance more, hands to heart or holding ankle or just getting lighter on the fingertips. The upper body is in a forward fold. Okay, so folding over that leg. Think of your forward fold. So leg lifts. Take another breath in. And exhale. Let your feet meet. Feet to the earth. Let's unroll. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head comes up. Circle out those hips. Think of tilling the soil, mixing the soil up so we can plant seeds. No more frozen, rigid soil. Mix it up. Opposite direction. Circle around. Beautiful. Release. Before coming to the earth, we're going to practice our breath of joy. This is a joyful time, the return of life, of color, growth. It's just a time to celebrate. Every season is a time to celebrate for whatever that season brings. So let's just celebrate what our spring season brings. A chance to start again, a chance to grow, a chance for ideas to be put into motion, a chance to connect with that hope inside. I have to take off this earpiece for breath of joy. Okay, so for breath of joy, sip of air, arms forward, sip of air out to the side, sip of air all the way up, and then a big sigh, ha, down. All right, so let's begin. Ha, 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 ha. Keep going. Ha, make sure you smile. Ha, ha, smile. Ha, 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 ha. 2 more times. Ha, ha, and come on. Palm on top of palm at heart center. Close the eyes. Feeling, noticing. Letting the heart rate slow back down. Gratitude for this life force that flows through us, that connects us to all living things, that connects us to the other people watching this video this morning. We're all connected. Inhale, open to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And soften knees. We'll come onto hands and knees. One last twist here. So bringing knees and, knees hip width apart, wrists under shoulders. On your inhale, open your right arm up. And exhale, we'll thread the needle. So taking your right arm behind the left, lower down to the temple area of your head. And if that's not comfortable, then bring a pillow under your head or something you have nearby. All right. And again, hips are square over the earth. We rotate from the belly. That left arm, you can keep palm onto the earth and press it into the earth to get more opening. You can take that arm overhead if you like. See how that feels. You can wrap that arm around your back. You can curl your left toes under, straightening that leg. Or if you like, you can lift that leg off the earth, balancing, which is a very interesting balance. It's pretty hard to balance to lift that leg. So where do you want to go with this? By straightening the leg, though, it does take a little bit away from the twist. And if you elevate the leg, it does too. So if we're thinking about the twisting, let's keep that knee down. Deep belly breath. Close the eyes. Be here with sensations in body and with movement of breath. We'll take one more breath in. And let your left hand come down. Slowly press palm into the earth. We'll take one more opening to the right and let that hand float down. Find your foundation again. And then we'll let the left arm float up with an inhale. And then with your exhale, thread the needle, reach that arm through. Take the temple area of the head to the earth. Pelvis is square over the earth. Rotate from the belly. Finding the variation, the arm variation that works for you. And we think of rotating, heart center open to the side. So whatever it is you're turning towards, you're going to open the heart towards that. And where do you feel the sensation here? Can you keep awareness there? And feel the breath moving through sensation, cleaning out. Few more breaths. Just be with these last couple rounds of breath. And we'll take our right hand to the earth. Press the palm down. One more opening. And let the hands float down. Ooh. Okay. Let's come on up and take your knees. Oh boy, look at the time. Let's take our knees. Let's come onto hands and knees. Separate your knees. We'll bring our big toes together. So this is not a child's pose, okay? This is actually frog pose, which we don't do all that often. But for this position, we rest on the inner knees. If this position, as we enter into it, you really don't like it, come into this position, Baddha Konasana, okay? But this is a very deep, nice hip opener. We'll talk about it more once we're in it. Okay, so inner knees. I have my big toes together right now, and I'm on my palms. I could stay here, maybe shift forward and back and find a place where I'm feeling a good opening, or you can separate the legs. See how I'm pointing my toes out to the side? So now you can really see that frog shape. And just shift forward and back. When you go back, you might have more of an intense sensation than forward, but we're all different. So it's just whatever place you're getting the best opening. You can also come to your forearms if you like. All right. And let's press the outer knee into the earth. Take a breath in. Hold the breath. And then exhale, let those knees slide apart a little bit if there's space available. Inhale, press outer knee into the earth. And exhale, let those knees slide away a little bit. One more time, inhale, press outer knees into the earth. Hold the breath. And then exhale, relax the legs. Close the eyes wherever you are here. So our hips store a lot of store unprocessed emotions. So when it comes to detoxing, and we can think of detoxing as far as our organs, which is important, but also energetically detoxing. So if our hips are like the junk drawer of the body. When you don't know what to do with something, you kind of just stuff it there and repress it. So as you hold in this position, breathe into the sensations and think of cleaning out the junk drawer, just dumping out the junk into the earth beneath you. Let the breath wash through sensation. Remember, it's our internal shower. Can we stay with the sensations a little bit longer, even when they deepen? Use the breath to keep you in a relaxed and open state. Keep breathing through the sensation. Few more breaths here. If your knees are okay, stay for these last couple of breaths without a sense of wanting to rush out of it. Just slow breath. One more full breath in, let the belly drop. Slow exhale. When you're ready, take one palm back, press the palm into the earth, your other palm back, press. So very slowly we're going to do this. Okay, and as you press your palms down, bring one leg in and the other leg, and just kind of scooch the legs in till they're together. Drop hips down, swing the legs around. So now we're on our seat. Take your feet to the width of your mat, drop knees side to side. Good. All right. So take legs forward, swing legs to your right. Take your left hand back behind you in towards your body with the fingers spread. Press your palm into the earth. Lift your hips, press your pelvis forward, reach your arm up and back, and gaze down towards your left hand. Breathing. One more breath in, reach, press pelvis forward, and exhale. Slowly lower down, pause and notice. Swing the legs to your second side, to your left. We'll take our right hand back behind us, spread the fingers wide, gaze towards that hand, shift pelvis forward, and reach your left arm up and back. Gaze towards your right hand. Press pelvis forward. Squeeze the glutes. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Pause and notice. Swing the legs forward. Feet to the earth, hands behind the thighs. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, round your back. Lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes down last. Once your head is down, bend your knees into your belly and squeeze them in. Rock side to side. Drop your chin so the back of the neck is long. Good. And steady yourself out. Let's take feet to the earth. Feet are hip width apart. Arms alongside the body. Walk hands down towards your heels. The fingertips don't have to touch the heels, but we walk our fingertips toward the heels. Peek at the knees. Are the knees hip width apart? Press your feet into the earth, tuck the pelvis. We're going to peel the spine up at the same time. We're going to peel the arms up. Flowing bridge. Exhale, tuck pelvis, lower spine, lower arms. Fluid movements with your breath. Letting everything melt and get soft in the body. Through movement and through breath. We find those places where we're stiff. We find those places where we're tense. Where we're blocked in energy flow. We find those places in this inward journey. And we practice melting those places, softening those places. A couple more times. Maybe even smile as you move, because it feels so good to be alive. No matter what sensations you're feeling in your body, no matter what is in your mind, we still have this life, we still have this day, this gift. So that's something to smile about. And then the next time you lower down, leave the arms and just lift your hips. And we're going to hold here. So we're going to find your favorite expression of bridge pose, either here, maybe rolling one shoulder under the body at a time, interlacing the hands under the body. Maybe you like to lift the heels up. Maybe you like to raise one leg for 3 breaths, and then switching and doing the other leg for 3 breaths. Maybe you have a block handy and you want to do restorative bridge. Find that place. Slow breath. Where are you feeling opening? If your feet are flat on the earth, press the heel into the earth. Lengthen your knees forward. Lift those hips. Let's take one more breath in. On your exhale, if your shoulders are under, gently, one at a time, take the shoulders back out. Unwind the hands, tuck pelvis. Feel the spine as you lower, slow and with control. Good. Drop your knees out to the side, soles of the feet together. Take your hands to the outer thighs, guide legs together, bring knees into belly, extend legs up, flexing the feet. So here, you can stay here for a couple breaths. Make sure back of the neck is long. So heart center towards chin, chin towards heart center. Pressing lower back into the earth. This is also a good place, if shoulder stand is in your practice, to take yourself into shoulder stand, if you like. Or if you love legs up the wall, you can take yourself to legs up the wall and stay there through our Shavasana. Let's take those legs open wide. And take them back up if you like, or keep them there. Take both hands behind your right leg, lower left leg down. Left leg up. Hands behind left leg, lower right leg down. And up. Bend your knees, bring soles of the feet together, holding the feet. Bring heels in towards the body. Maybe you lift your head up towards your feet if you like. If you're lifting your head up and it makes your neck cranky, take your head back down because we don't need any more stress or tension in the neck, especially after we just did yoga and we're all cleaned out. To stay that way as long as we can. Wherever you are, one more breath in. Exhale down to the earth, knees together, nose up to knees, hands into fists, squeeze face, hands, feet, squeeze. Inhale, open up, big stretch. Exhale, squeeze, nose to knees. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it in. Couple more times. Inhale, big stretch, spread those fingers. And exhale, knees come in, head to knees. Inhale, spread fingers. Maybe you even open your mouth wide and open your eyes really wide. And come in. And last one, big stretch. Open your mouth, open your eyes, spread everything. And then plop onto your mat. Just let everything go. Notice. Be here. Nowhere else. Take the arms up towards the sky. Roll wrists, roll ankles. In both directions. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And slowly let your arms float down. Palms are open towards the sky. Inhale, reach shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, big sigh. Walk those shoulders down away from the ears. Crown of the head is towards the back of the room behind you. Find a good place to take your Shavasana. Closing the eyes, giving yourself this time to allow your practice to settle in. So settle into the earth, feeling your prana flowing throughout your body. Or the prana, because it's all of our prana, the life force. And just relaxing from head to toe. Notice if the hooks start to come back. Is there anything that's starting to pull at you? To leave Shavasana. There's something more important to do. There's something you want to get done. Notice if that happens. Keep the cords cut. You can be here. You can give yourself a few more moments to be alive here and present with a clear mind. Resting here, open to all the gifts of the spring season. Letting ourselves continue to be cleansed, to continue to plant new seeds, to continue to pull out the weeds that take away the energy from our true purpose in this life. Filled with the light and the lightness of hope. All the buried seeds crack open in the dark the instant they surrender to a process they can't see. What a powerful lesson is the beginning of spring. All around us, everything small and buried surrenders to a process that none of the buried parts can see. And this innate surrender allows everything edible and fragrant to break ground into a life we call spring. In nature, we are quietly given countless models of how to give ourselves over to what appears dark and hopeless, but which is ultimately an awakening beyond all imagining. As a seed buried in the earth cannot imagine itself as an orchid or hyacinth, neither can a heart packed with hurt imagine itself loved or at peace. The courage of the seed is that once cracking, it cracks all the way. So you can rest in your Shavasana. With being online, Shavasana definitely is not as long as I like to give, but I also don't, I know things are different when you're at home. So definitely stay there if you're just not ready to transition out. If you are ready to transition out, do so gently and first rolling off to one side like we do, giving yourself a pause on one side to seal in your practice this morning. And when you're ready, transition to a seated position. We'll let our palms come together at heart center. And we'll take another breath in. And a breath out. Thumbs coming up to our third eye. The light in me bows to the light in each of you. And together we say, Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning. So it's been almost a month since the vernal equinox in spring, since it turned spring. And I had hoped that we would be open so that I could do this practice sooner. But anyway, but it is still spring budding out there. So definitely still a good time to be thinking about what we did in our practice. So thank you. Any questions, any requests, anything at all, make sure to reach out to me. And still hoping that we'll be back together at the center sooner than later. But until then, I'm happy that people are joining us online here. Okay. So I hope everybody had a nice Easter. I miss you all. Namaste. Bye, and thank you.